Hey, ladies and gentlemen, the human mind is constantly active, filled with a myriad of thoughts and emotions. Some of these thoughts come and go with little impact, while others can dominate our consciousness, leading to a sense of distraction and unease. One of the most prevalent types of thoughts that many people struggle with is related to desire, particularly sexual thoughts. These thoughts, while natural, can become all-consuming if not understood or managed properly. When our thoughts are fixated on one particular subject, especially desire, it can begin to overshadow other important aspects of life. It can feel as if there's no escape from this mental loop, which only increases our frustration and anxiety. But this isn't just about sexual thoughts, it's about understanding how our minds work. In today's world, distractions are endless and our minds are constantly being pulled in various directions. We need to learn how to not be overwhelmed by these thoughts, to gain control and to understand that there's much more to life than what the mind continually returns to. By the end of this talk, we'll discuss how to overcome these mental traps and find a more balanced, peaceful existence. Desire is a fundamental part of the human experience. It's what drives us to achieve, to connect, to explore and to enjoy life. At its core, desire is neither good nor bad. However, the problem arises when our desires become obsessive, taking over our thoughts and actions. Sexual desire in particular is one that has immense power over people's minds, often leading to unhealthy fixation or an imbalance in their lives. While it's a natural biological force, it becomes a problem when it consumes us. This is where the real challenge lies. Distinguishing between healthy desire and obsession. When we let our desires dictate our every action, it results in a life full of distractions, anxiety and unfulfilled expectations. The more we chase a fleeting sense of pleasure or satisfaction, the further we move away from true contentment. The key is understanding that desires are not inherently harmful, but our attachment to them and the inability to control them can lead to unnecessary turmoil. Recognizing the difference between a healthy desire and an obsessive one is the first step toward achieving balance and peace within our minds and lives. The world we live in today is full of external stimuli that perpetuate a sense of constant craving. From social media to entertainment, advertisements and peer pressures, society bombards us with messages about what we should desire and how those desires should look. We are often taught from a young age that fulfillment comes through external sources, success, wealth, pleasure and physical satisfaction. Sexual desire, being one of the most intense and primal forces, is often amplified by these influences. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that fulfillment comes from gratifying these desires, and when that desire isn't fulfilled or is unattainable, it becomes an obsession. We tend to fixate on what we don't have or on what feels temporarily satisfying, yet leaves us empty in the long run. This obsession comes from a deeper sense of unfulfillment, a lack of inner peace, or a desire to escape the discomfort of other emotions like loneliness, boredom or anxiety. The more we chase after these desires, the stronger the obsession becomes, until it consumes us. Understanding the root of these obsessions, whether societal, emotional or psychological, is key to freeing ourselves from them. Control over our thoughts is one of the most powerful tools we have for achieving peace of mind. It's important to recognize that thoughts are not something we must be slaves to. We have the ability to steer them in the direction we want. When it comes to obsessive thoughts, such as those related to sexual desire, It's essential to realize that we can gain control by choosing what to focus on. Every thought that enters our mind doesn't have to be followed, and not every impulse must be acted upon. Self-discipline is key here. It's about building the capacity to observe our thoughts without becoming entangled in them. Mindfulness and awareness are practices that help us become conscious of the thoughts that arise and give us the ability to detach from them. When we stop reacting to every thought that crosses our mind, we create space between stimulus and reaction. This space is where we regain control. By practicing mindfulness, meditation and developing inner discipline, we can free ourselves from the tyranny of obsessive thoughts and find peace in our everyday lives. Reprogramming the mind is a process that requires intentional effort and patience. Our thoughts are not static, they can be reshaped and directed if we practice the right